say that it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. One of the toughest and baddest MMA fighters today is Bobby Green. Growing up in an environment fueled by hostility and violence, Bobby Green channeled his inner anger to become one of the most successful MMA fighters of our time. His insane work ethic and insatiable appetite to get into the ring and defeat his challengers earned him the nickname of King. In this video, we will take a look at the career and life of Bobby Green and what made him one of the most feared UFC fighters of our day.
Early knockdown for Bobby Green.
Every great king comes from humble beginnings. Bobby Ray Green was born on September 9, 1986 in San Bernardino, California. Having a parent to take care and love their child at a young age is crucial for a child's development. However, Bobby didn't have the luxury of being welcomed by loving parents when he was born. During his childhood, both his parents were in and out of jail for substance abuse, and Bobby mostly grew up homeless in California.
I remember what it felt like when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and that morning dew starts to hit, where everything gets wet. Yeah, you get wet too when you're sleeping out there too. I'll never forget those things.
When one of his parents was in jail, the other would roam the streets in search of scraps of food and some form of shelter. There would be days where no one would even change Bobby's diapers. At his lowest, he would eat dirt and trash just because there was no real food around. If surviving a childhood of extreme poverty taught Bobby anything, it's that life is not fair, and some of us need to fight harder than others. But hope can always be found for those who seek it desperately. For Bobby, that hope was found in his own grandmother. In a rare moment of lucidity, Bobby's mother realized she couldn't take care of him, and as her own drug addiction was spiraling out of control, she decided to leave him in foster care when he was 5. She hoped this would somehow grant him a better chance in life. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in Bobby's life, as his own grandmother ended up rescuing him and his 6-month-old brother to raise them in her own home.
I didn't have a mother or a father. They gave me away. My father wasn't fit to be my father.
Playing both the role of mother and father, Bobby's loving grandmother was the support system he needed to develop some sense of self-esteem and escape his unfair childhood. When Bobby was in grade school, he naturally gravitated to a hobby that allowed him to channel his inner anger. That hobby was wrestling. Teachers and classmates were impressed by his natural skills on the mat. And the more matches Bobby participated in, the better fighter he became. However, some things in life will always hit harder than a punch to the face. When Bobby turned 14 years old, his grandmother passed away. This fueled his anger, and in an effort to escape from a suffocating sense of desperation, he began spending all his free time wrestling. As he was only 14 and his real parents were completely out of his life, he was doomed to enter the foster system and reshuffle his whole life. Fortunately for him, a fellow wrestler on his team was generous enough to take Bobby under his wing and offered him to move in with his family. However, this new arrangement didn't last long, as Bobby left their home after a heated disagreement. He ended up moving in with a teacher from school who lured him on the promise of mentorship and a place to live. Sadly, this teacher had a hidden agenda and soon began abusing Bobby. At age 18, looking for a fresh start, Bobby left school and joined the Army. The boot camp consisted of a 21-week training program. Things were mostly fine, But at the 20th week, Bobby was kicked out of the Army as a result of fighting a fellow cadet. After his stint with the Army, Bobby had no choice but to reconnect with his old high school wrestling buddies. They encouraged him to fight in a low-level MMA circuit to make some money. After just 2 weeks of amateur training, Bobby booked his first fight in Mexico and won. Soon, fighting turned into Bobby's main source of income. He won some, he lost some, but he kept improving with each fight and ultimately earned his nickname of King after becoming champion in the King of the Cage promotion.
I just gotta thank God every day that I'm here, you know, that I could do this, you know.
Introducing Bobby King Green.
In 2011, he joined Strikeforce, a now-defunct American MMA and kickboxing organization. During his time at Strikeforce, Bobby was well-liked by the crowd due to his entertaining fights. His popularity increased with each match.
When it comes to this MMA stuff, it's what product you're selling. I always tell all my young fighters that what kind of product you selling, because we all selling something, you know, and the public's gonna buy the best thing that they can find.
In a lucky twist of events, the UFC bought out Strikeforce in 2013. And with that, Bobby was officially a fighter in the UFC roster. Bobby's first UFC match was against Jacob Volkman.
Bobby Green, he's fired up to make his long-awaited UFC debut.
This is a huge, huge moment for him.
Showing a wide display of technical grappling skills, Bobby won the match with a chokehold, earning the well-deserved Submission of the Night recognition.
Welcome to the UFC, Bobby Green.
Welcome. You know, what an explosive, what an exciting fighter. I heard you say to Lazy before here that you didn't think you were worthy of being in the UFC. Why do you feel that way?
Because I'm from the streets. I slept on sidewalks. I've ate your leftovers, your crumbs. I ate your kids. I got your kids' hand-me-downs, my big brothers and cousins' old clothes. I haven't owned my own pair of clothes unless it's from a sponsor like Affliction or Torque or Venom that gives me clothes. You know, I don't even have my own pair, so I don't live in my own house or anything. So I felt like I'm never worthy of anything. I'm just a soldier of God, and I'm blessed to be here.
This cemented his reputation as one of the best up-and-coming UFC fighters in 2013. The King's next fight was against James Cross and was marked by controversy. During the match, Bobby accidentally kicked James in the groin area twice, causing him to collapse on the mat in agony.
It's over. Oh, no. Oh, no. Caught him again. It's over.
The referee decided that it was a legal blow and awarded Bobby Green a TKO victory.
You're the winner.
What?
I think he said it's over. He's the winner.
That was a legal blow, son. That was a legal blow.
He's saying legal blow. You're the winner, he said.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
But despite the controversy, Bobby proved his skills by defeating yet another UFC veteran.
Bobby Green gets the victory here against James Krause.
If you watch the James Krause fight, is where I started to learn my rhythm, my swag, the shoulder rolls really well, where I started to put it together. Even though the fight ended with controversy, I still was able, I was really finding myself in that fight. I was really feeling it. I was like, okay, this is who I am now, you know?
I felt bad for you actually at the end of that fight because everyone was against you, even though it wasn't even a low blow. which was crazy. Even Joe Rogan too, and I'm like, man, I feel bad for him.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I honestly feel like you handled the situation so well, because if I was in it, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, it didn't go low.
Bro, when you're a black man in America, you have to know how to deal with these situations, you know? How to deal with everybody, especially America, you know? You could say the wrong thing and get yourself up. So I just kept my cool, kept my composure.
A disturbing scene, a deadly car-to-car shooting.
A violent drive-by in an American suburb right during...
A suspect can be seen hanging out of the passenger side window with a rather large gun and then fired multiple shots toward a home.
Sadly, tragedy struck Green again in 2014 when his brother was shot in a drive-by shooting.
And all of a sudden somebody came around this block here, swing around, and started shooting. Boom, 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 you know? My little brother and all them were right here. They couldn't get out the way. Everybody started running and trying to jump this fence right here. So everybody's trying to jump the fence. He said, my uncle told me he saw everybody jump the fence but my little brother. I didn't have enough money to pay for his funeral. The UFC paid for that, you know? That's why I'm so loyal to them. Like, they were doing things for me that no companies ever did. They put the money in for my brother's funeral and they took care of that. And so I'll always be loyal to them and thankful to them. Thank you, you know, Dana. Thank you, Sean, for all the things you guys have done.
Bobby's loss was heartbreaking, and yet he would still go on and fight the toughest matchup he's had in his career up until then, against Josh Thompson. Bobby dedicated this fight to his brother and put on an unrelenting display of violence, which earned him a split decision victory.
The winner by split decision, Bobby King Green.
With his heart plagued by so much grief and sorrow, Bobby showed us why he truly is the king, by overcoming so much tragedy and still performing at the highest level possible as a bona fide UFC fighter.
This has always just been my same intentions, is to inspire, motivate, you know, get people on their feet. I'm just doing the same things I always did. You guys just found out. I just make that shit look easy. It ain't. I just make it look easy. It's the same thing to this day. You know, ain't nothing changed. My intentions, my goals, my pursuit. I never cared about the title, and if it didn't come or came, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't be thinking about it. If they want to honor me with that, cool. My thing is, keep the money coming. And keep my activity going.
Bobby, however, did have some setbacks during his UFC career. For example, in November 2014, he lost to Edson Barboza by unanimous decision. 2015 was ridden with injuries, and many of his scheduled matches had to be canceled or had him replaced by other competitors. He also lost against the legendary Dustin Poirier, who knocked him out in the first round. His losing streak continued against Rashid Magomedov by split decision. Finally, on October 7, 2017, Bobby was able to break the losing curse and defeat Lando Venata by split decision. He followed that with a win against Eric Koch. Bobby's next match wasn't until December 2018, where he faced Drakkar Klose and, unfortunately, lost by unanimous decision. This match made it seem as if the king had ultimately been dethroned. However, while some would argue that Bobby's prime is past, there's no question that his thirst to fight his way up from the very bottom is deeply inspiring. He's overcome so much hardship in his life, teaching us that each one of us can transform his personal struggle into greatness. But there's a price to pay for it, a price that is paid through sacrifice and relentlessness. To this day, despite injuries and losses, Green is still paying his price to greatness. Recently, his fight against Rafael Fiziev was regarded as one of the best fights of 2021. And his first round knockout of Al Iaquinta on November 2021 confirmed that the king is still a force to be reckoned with.
I just want my kids to know this. I mean, you guys don't know, but I'm leaving this for you. If you ever one day you might watch this, Jeremiah, Izzy, Jacob, just know that your daddy left you with this bloodline. This bloodline I give you, this heart I give you, you have a heart of a lion. And know that that pumps through you guys, and you guys can endure anything, okay? I've been in 50 different homes. I've been from place to place. I've seen some dark days. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be here. I've pushed through everything. I've been through every emotion to get here. I've been through everything. I'm talking about almost want to kill myself to be here, but I'm here.